Hello everybody, it's Vinyl Rich here with a vinyl tag. The Canadian vinyl tag. To be honest, I kind of burn out on all these tags. In fact, I've quit watching them. Except today I saw the Blues Vinyl guy had one and I enjoy that guy's channel, so I thought I'll watch it. And it turns out this tag is started by Rachel, the music ma'am. So I'm going to do the Canadian vinyl tag in support of Rachel, because that's where I got my start in the VC. And I'm so inspired. My next 3 videos are going to all be vinyl tags. I had the questions written down, so I hope the paper doesn't make too much noise in this. First question, show a Canadian country album. And I'm showing K.D. Lang's second album. I dig this shit, man. It's like polka country, you know. It's pretty... It's not modern day country sounding at all. I love this album. I love her first album also, but I can't find that one on vinyl. Very cool. Show a female Canadian artist. Well, that was pretty easy for me. It's Joni Mitchell. This is Hijaja, Hiraya, I don't know. But I love this album. I was going to show Blue, but that's too obvious. Show a Canadian heavy psych album. Well, this is Sussex. Canadian Grill, actually. This is a reissue, I believe, limited to 500. Now, there was somebody in the VC that knows the guy that put this out, and he's actually signing them. He's getting them signed for people. But yeah, really cool. 1969. One of those hard and heavy psych albums. From Canada. Show a Canadian pressing. Well, My Easy Rider is a Canadian pressing. And it does have a Canadian symbol right here. The maple leaf. Which was another question that Rachel had. Okay. Show a Canadian album with Reagan on the cover. Well, that's an obvious. It's the Day Go Abortions. This album has got some great songs. I mean, great. And then it's got some mediocre stuff. And the mediocre stuff prevents this from being way up there in my top 100. Okay, show a Canadian that's in an American band. That's Black Flag. You got Chuck Biscuits on drums, who was in DOA from Vancouver, I believe. He also played with Danzig, one of the best drummers in punk rock. But yeah, Black Flag, Chuck Biscuits. Show a solo artist from Canada. And I'm showing Rick James. A lot of people don't associate Rick James with Canada, but I believe that's where he came from. I think the Toronto area, and I believe he played with Neil Young. Yeah. Street songs? Yeah, fantastic. And I'm showing another Rick James related. This is his band, the Stone City Band. The Boys Are Back, produced by Rick James. Show a Canadian folk artist. Well, I'm showing Ian and Sylvia, one of the best looking couples in music. I mean, look at that, man. They're both beautiful. Show a band, a Canadian band, whose second album is better than the first, but after that they kind of suck. And that has to be DOA, Hardcore 81. Their first album's really good. This album is great. And after that, they kind of, in my opinion. DOA. Show a modern day Canadian band with Joey Shithead vocals. And that's got to be Chain Whip. And I got my Chain Whip shirt on. 14 Lashes. Actually, the Chain Whip is also a Canadian symbol. I could have shown that for that question. Show your favorite French Canadian band. Well, that's got to be Oi. This is Le Album Volume 2. Fantastic French Canadian band. Show a Canadian compilation. And that's Vancouver Independence. It's got the Subhumans and then some other bands that aren't as well known. the droogs, the B-sides, the singing cowboys, the metros. But a pretty good compilation. Show an album on a Canadian record label. And I'm going to show this Chronic Submission, Sick of Reality. And it is on Schizophrenic Records out of Ontario, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Right there. Fantastic stuff there. Show a Canadian live album. Now, this is not a Canadian band, but this is a concert in Canada. And it is Red Cross, O Canada. And I believe this is live in Vancouver, too. But anyways, this is a great rockin' album. If you're a rock fan, you would dig this, man. It is a good... It's actually a pretty good starting point for Red Cross, actually. And, of course, you have to play loud. Okay, I'm not even looking at my notes. I can tell by the covers what the questions are for the most part. Showing a song that has beer or whiskey in the lyrics or title. And I'm going with the Fear, More Beer. It's not only in the title of a song, it's the title of an album. This album has More Beer on side 1. And on side 2, Have a Beer with Fear. So yeah, man. It's a double whammy there. Now, show an album that is made up of true gentlemen. And that is The Gentlemen of Horrors. Really young kids. I mean, they were young. This album, they only had one 7-inch single, and that's on here. And you got some 81 and 82 demos. Side 1 is really good. Side 2 is a rehearsal tape, and it's not very good. So you only want this album for side 1. Now, another one that doesn't necessarily have to be a Canadian artist, she just wanted you to show an album with snow. Now, she also had a question, show a 7-inch or single. I was too lazy to go through my 7-inch boxes. But for this show a record with snow, I was going to actually show the Gangrene record where they're all snorting coke. But I'll show this instead. This is Dust with a snow-tipped mountain. And this band, they're known for having Marky Mark. Their drummer was Marky Mark, who went on to the Ramones. Okay, show a band that has 4 Canadians, 1 American, and they backed up Bob Dylan. Well, that's got to be the band. Music from Big Pink, their first album. Great album. I like the second one better, but still. Okay, now this is an interesting question that Rachel came up with. It's show a dude in a cape that looks like he takes himself a little too serious, and he looks like a Canadian, but he actually isn't a Canadian. And that's got to be Sean Phillips. I mean, look at him there, man. He's taking himself real serious. He's wearing his cape. And this record looks like it would be horrible, but it's actually a really good record. Sean Phillips, second contribution. Now, the 20th question is show your favorite Canadian band. Well, I showed them in the French Canadian, but they are my favorite, and it's Oi. They're my favorite Canadian band. This is Oi, the album. You got Strength Through Oi, their second album. Carry On Oi, their third. And then Oi, 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 That's Your Lot. I believe this is their fourth album. And then the last question is give a shout out and a tag to a Canadian BC member. And I'm going to tag Jason Noise. What's his name? Low Noise Jason Sklz. Tag, you're it. Now it's your turn to do a tag. I'll leave a link to Jason Sklz channel, and I'll leave a link to Rachel's channel. Anyways, I enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed my take on the Canadian upper United States, as we call it down here. Take care. Dark inside.